First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Tonight, we've got one last present under the tree, our final Monday Nighter of the year, between the Baltimore Ravens and the Detroit Lions. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away, and off we go to wrap up the week on a Monday night. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. In motion left comes Williams. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. The Lions at 9-6 now. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good chunk on the ground on the keeper, 17 yards, first down. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. He's at the 30. 10, 5. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on third. In motion comes the tight end left. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
What were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Lions are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. A play action fake. They'll look to throw. They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravensons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Well, we've certainly seen this before, CD. No one can quite electrify a crowd like Lamar Jackson. And really don't know what else to say other than that was special right there.
I think you pretty much said it all, but I go back to what you said about electrifying a crowd. He's also electrifying us, and we're calling the game. This guy's simply sensational.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
He'll look to throw. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
A first down carry for Barkley. And some space here. 20. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A big run there. 29 yards and a first. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards. And with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20. But over 7,000 yards in a career, fantastic.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Jackson now off the bootleg. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And he'll just take a seat, and the driver to get it to 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll set up to throw. And this one's incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
19, 19.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Ready?
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll try and throw for it here. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he is going to have the Lions first down as this defense were a little too loose there. They give up a gain of 19 on 4th down.
Here we go.
17-0 our score after 1. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one, but occasionally the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly, maybe someone tipped it off, but on that play, it had no chance.
2nd and 13. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But, Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Jackson. Open man is born. Room here to run. 30. 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Yeah, boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and this is one of the best runs you'll see. A lot of times on these long touchdowns, you'll say he gets into the end zone untouched, but not here. He fought his way through contact, and it barely even registered, and he just continued down the field all the way to the end zone.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. At their own 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything. He's got a man complete. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Check pass.
Now they try the right side here. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Come on.
Here's 2nd and 9.
Grab 60. Mustang 19.
Now back to throw. Out of his hands quickly to Pittman. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll send the tight end in motion left.
Check contact.
On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Off the RPO, he completes it. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Fant, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that'll make it 24-7. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
50 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley on the option. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They'll run it again with Barkley. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A handoff to Barkley on the option. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'll guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up with a very good clip.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he gets it down to the 32. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to pull down in before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Jackson. And this is caught inside the 5. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. To throw is Jackson. And it's caught. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to.
And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
From the 27, Jackson. Throwing left side, it's complete. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. 73 yards. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Yes, Panthers. Panthers street.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now a play fake here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. He'll drop to throw. They'll find Swift out of the backfield. And in for the Lions touchdown. DeAndre Swift, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Lions get a bit closer. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead down to 20. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he'll decide to not bring the... Drive will begin at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Okay, didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 107 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. A handoff to Barkley on the option. And he's got some space here. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run pass option.
They're right down here looking for 6. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. And now Jackson will look to throw it. He'll be hit and taken down at the 20-line. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Kendrick Bourne with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Ravens will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27.
41, Lions 14. Justin Tucker.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting?
There he goes, right side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. This one to Bourne out on the left side. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. And he'll get this down only to the 18. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
He's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Aiden Hutchinson. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
Justin Tucker on for 49-yard attempt.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. On the option to give to Swift here. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Josh Allen charges in there hard and drops him for a loss of 12 from that outside linebacker position. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And Shark calls it in. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They run with Barkley on first down, and he gets about 5 out of it.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't. Because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it. Because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 210 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Dobbins will take this into the end zone. It's a Ravens touchdown.
Did my eyes deceive me, or was that an I formation play that was just run there for a touchdown?
Little old school eye.
How about that? Was that a fullback, tailback, running it into the end zone?
Well, that's what that fullback's for, right? That's why you use that. Let him pave the way.
Oh, without a doubt. He's an extra blocker, and he did his job well on that play.
Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead is now an even 30.
Makes the score, Ravens 51, Lions 21. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And now a big play to start off this drive as the shot downfield is complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Tucker with the extra point. Yeah, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
70 Rangers, 19 Lions, Panther 11, Panther 11.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right.
Go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Third down and 10.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's airing it out for Williams. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Ravens are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth-quarter lead. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Running again with Barkley on second down. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
And some room to run now. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Tucker now to add the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Ravens 65, Lions 21.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not. And now here is another interception. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. A handoff to Barkley on the option. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They'll set up a throw. And he'll find Pittman. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can...